Hi everyone, I hope this message and update finds you safe and sound, quite possibly not warm and happy and content, as extreme power outages in Magoffin and certainly other eastern Kentucky counties are still literally being assessed at this hour due to their extensive nature. This is going to be the first of at least two, if not more, updates and programs that I'll have for you today. If the power holds out here, as it has during the overnight and today at the Your News Today studio and Sagersville Independent offices in downtown Sagersville, one of the few portions of Magoffin County to have sustained power. If that power continues, I'll be back on at 6 o'clock for those, of course, who can see me on Howard's Cable and Foothills Communications, as well as YouTube and Facebook and website channels that we operate. The purpose of this is just to get you up to date essentially on the information that I have at this hour and that I don't have at this hour. Still a lot of questions to be answered as crews and mostly utilities are still out there working and trying to restore power, which I am told may take days, certainly days, many possibly, for the outskirts, if you will, or outer extremities of Magoffin County, even in the downtown area for Restaurant Row. That is not a guarantee that that portion of Sagersville will see power by today, maybe tomorrow, maybe a few days. We'll have our judge executive and mayor with us in just a few moments to give us the very latest at this hour. Of course, this information is changing about every hour, so we'll be keeping you up to date as much as possible. During the overnight, as many of you are well aware, we saw rain, freezing rain, continue, and it continued to bear heavy on utility lines and trees and branches, down trees all over Magoffin County. And ladies and gentlemen, I have spoke with some other people in some other counties and elected officials and otherwise, and we fared quite well in comparison to some areas. The Ashland area, Boyd County, one of those hardest hit. Our judge executive will tell us more about that in just a few moments. Later on, when time allows, we'll try to shed some more light and gather some details on ambulance and emergency personnel who were unable to reach a person in medical distress last night that did pass away here in Magoffin County. There were several, and I do not have a number, countless numbers of individuals who were running out of their oxygen supply last night, and the rescue squad and EMS not able to replenish that with what they had, and a lot of times not able to get to them due to the ice. There was at least one report of carbon monoxide poisoning to some degree, and no other details on that, but that was here in Magoffin County, which just brings us to a very staunch reminder. Generators being widely used at this hour, you can not use them in any sort of an enclosed area, not in your garage, certainly not inside any structure closed off. Keep them outside, well ventilated, and as far as the proper extension cord will allow you to, away from the source that you are powering. The Sagersville Nursing Home last night as well saw a loss of power, as they still are. Their generator only running at 50% capacity last night, which left them, as I understand it, as you'll hear, contemplating an evacuation status for at least some time. They are, with some heat and partial generator capacity, able to keep some heat in the facility right now. More on that in just a few moments. As of just early this morning, Kentucky in all had more than 150,000 people without power. Still a great many of those without power at this time. Now, I spoke with Curry Howard of Licking Valley RECC just a few moments ago. I do have an update from him, and we'll have a more thorough one later on. Right now, let's go to our judge executive, Matt Wireman, and Mayor Pete Shepard. This was right around the 2 o'clock time frame, actually around 1 o'clock when this was filmed, checking the clock on my phone. Around 1 o'clock when this interview was taken, just shortly before posting it here. We hope that you will pass this information along to anyone in your midst, in your circle, and the like, or who may not be able to have this information readily available via their phone device, or if they're one of the few people who do have power at this time. Power-wise and electricity-wise, what do either one of you have at this hour?
Well, I've spoken to Curry with Licking Valley. Right now, the substation in Royalton went back down again. So they're looking at least 5,000 customers without power right now in their cooperative. Their communication systems is down, so they're not able really to give us a lot of specific information. Hopefully that will be back online shortly. Talked to Bob Shurtleff with Kentucky Power, and right now they have got drones out trying to fly the main lines in the Falcon area. They've got some main transmission lines down. So we're looking at some areas of the county. They need to give me specific boundaries, but we're probably looking at a couple of days before that gets back online. I do know they're trying to get Restaurant Row and that area back down to the nursing home online as a priority. Nursing homes running off of backup generators and space heaters right now. So hopefully we can get those back online, and plus we got the health department, and Pete can address that.
Before you go on the health department, I want to talk about utilities a little more, but you had some information in regards to the Restaurant Row, the trouble area, and what they were predicting possibly?
Well, like what Matthew said, they've got the main power lines down. They got 2 poles snapped. I think one of them had a transformer. It's up on kind of the hill where they can't have a hard time getting to. And they're saying that hopefully they might have it on today, but don't count on it.
That's for Restaurant Row.
That's for Restaurant Row down towards the nursing home health department. That is a priority, as Matthew said. They've got that a priority because we have a lot of vaccines and stuff stored at the health department, which we do have a generator. And then for the nursing home, which unfortunately their generator wasn't large enough to handle their heating units for the nursing home. So that was why they was in such a dire straits last night. They was calling them. I know Matthew got calls, and I did too, about even thinking about evacuating them to the community center or something like that. But we did feel that was the thing to do at that time, and they found did to get some space heaters and get the nursing home warmed up down where they can at least tolerate it till we get the power back on.
I know when you were talking, was it to Curry or someone, Matt, that gave us a little perspective about just how bad it is elsewhere?
Oh, it was Bob Shurtleff with Kentucky Power. He's advising they've got the National Guard out right now down there helping them cut trees out. Said on one road alone they cut.
Where's this at?
This was in Boyd County.
Okay, go ahead.
That they cut out over 60 trees just on one road. The National Guard did until they run into trees that had power lines intertwined in them and had to quit. So it's bad all over the region. His estimate just 45 minutes ago was that they've close to 60,000 customers in Kentucky Power it's out. We do have calls too for the National Guard. We've got calls and requests for assistance to help cut trees out of roads because we got multiple county roads that's got trees down. We got state roads, not the priority roads. I think they got those mostly clear after talking with Steve with the highway department. The parkway's open. They were salting it because of the snow we got this morning. There's some trees still could be possibly down in slow lanes where it's close to the hillsides. So you need to use caution going down when you're traveling the parkway. 460 and 114 for the most part's clear. We got trees still down in the roadway, but it's passable on Route 40, 1081, Route 30, Route 7. We've got trees down in various places, but the roads are passable right now. The side roads, secondary roads, and the county roads, we'll just get to them as we can. Like I said, we've got the request in for the National Guard to come in and help. But we're also got requests in the Red Cross for oxygen. We know we have a lot of folks that are they're getting low on their oxygen, so we've got a request in for a minimum of 50 of the portable tanks. We're still working on that. We haven't gotten anything solid on that yet.
So it's with the exception of Restaurant Row and some of the more populated areas, power outages out in the county are likely to be going on for a week or better.
They're saying several days that we could have some. There's still people without power in our region that are out from the couple of days ago when the storm hit, and they didn't get all those fixed. So with the catastrophic damage we got across the region now, it could be like what was 2009 when we saw folks here that went 7, 8, 10 days without having their power restored. Hopefully, the substation in the Meadows, they can get that repaired. That will branch out to a lot of the county. I know last night our power was off on Mason where I live for about 5.5 hours, and that brought online a significant number of people. But they've had some other issue this morning a couple hours ago, and it's went down again. So all those same folks are without power again. But once they'll have to fix that so they can see what the power outages and extremities are. They got to fix that substation.
We're looking at 12 degrees tonight. What kind of services is the city and the county able to provide in regards to heat, shelter, and the like?
As of right now, as we've advertised, we got the community center open as a warming center. If you decide to come, bring something to eat, snack on. We'll try to store it properly for you. But we'll have it until we reach a capacity that falls within the CDC guidelines. We got some overflow here in the courthouse. We can spread people out in the hallways with some cots and in the physical courtroom. And then I guess Pete, you got the fire department.
At the fire department and City Hall, we got gas heat in the back of it. It's a big room there. We can put people in there. Last night we kept 2 at the fire department from Allen Drive, and Allen Drive is one of the places we're kind of concerned about because of the elderly up there. But like Matthew said, if you do come to these warming centers, you need to bring your own stuff. You need to bring your food, water if you got it, and a quilt or something like that, and a pillow, and because it's just temporary. It's a warming center, and that's once we get the electric back on, then you'll have to move on out. So and really by state guidelines and federal guidelines, we can't have a shelter unless we got inspections and all this other stuff. So we can only open the warming center. But anybody in the city that needs to be come to the community center or the fire department, if you'll call us, dispatch, they'll call the fire department and we'll make arrangements to transport you. We will not be transporting food or anything to people or going to services to people other than bringing them to the warming center, and then we'll take them back when this disaster is over with, whenever that'll be. But like I say, just give us a call. We'll make sure you get there, and then you can stay till we get the electric back on.
I want to stress that real quick. Non-emergency number to use only is, we don't want
349
people calling 911.
Right, it's 349-4403. And that's the non-emergency line to 911. And you call there and we'll dispatch and try to get whatever. But now, if we don't answer that right away, keep trying. You know, it is 911. We got to answer 911 line first. One of the things that we requested too is the National Guard to come and transport folks to warming centers. So if folks, I mean, I don't know, hopefully they'll be able to see some of this, or people will that can call and tell people to contact us at that 4403, and we'll hopefully be able to get the National Guard in here shortly to make those transports.
I think Carter's also going to go out and will help out in the county
The rescue
transport
squad.
with the rescue squad. He said he'd do outside the city limits and help us with that. But like I say, I can't send my personnel outside the city limits and leave me shorthanded here. So
Yeah, and we're working to get the fire departments and all together to make sure that they could go out and do welfare checks and haul people if we need to.
Now, with all of that in mind, there's something else that we need to keep in mind, that we are now feeling the effects of an entering very large Arctic air mass that has moved in to eastern Kentucky behind that winter storm yesterday. So all of this stuff on the ground and in the ground is going to freeze tonight, and while we have seen main roads and arteries passable today, they will refreeze tonight and become slick and hazardous. So if you are going to be out, get what you need. Watch for continued falling trees as they are still bearing the weight of the storm, and then we hope you make it back as quickly and safely as possible. And of course, that westerly wind from 5 to 20 miles per hour is just adding a bit of insult to injury. But it is tomorrow through Monday that a brief period of snow is possible tomorrow afternoon. Then freezing rain, snow, and sleet are all possible from tomorrow night into Thursday morning. Moderate to heavy accumulations at times. We have a nighttime low tonight of right around 12 degrees at this time. 31 tomorrow, and then 31 again tomorrow night as we see a little bit of warm air roll in. Thursday hitting 38 degrees, but then back down to the 20s Thursday night, and then 20s for daytime highs on Friday, and we're back down flirting with the single digits this Friday. The good news is that by Friday night, well, we calm down and we get at least a break, and maybe a significant one, days long, from any wintry precipitation. But it is between now and Friday that we have to deal with all that. I will update you on your weather forecast. I will also have another update from all of our local officials and utility companies towards or near the 6 o'clock hour. And bear with me if you are fortunate enough to have power, and it's not an unusual thing for me to be 3 or 4 or 5 minutes late sometimes. Try not to do that very often, but today is certainly very possible and likely, so bear with me. If your TV is on and you have Howards and Foothills, I will be there sometime at or shortly after 6, and then of course on our Facebook, website, and YouTube channels as well. Please stay in, stay safe. Remember to use that non-emergency number if you need to call 911 for any services at 349-4403, and please be patient with those folks. They have had just an unbelievable past 24 hours and have many more ahead of them in trying to keep us all safe. And with that said, I will see you shortly for a 6 o'clock update, if not before. Thank you for watching.